Have you heard of multi-split air conditioning systems, and are you curious to see if they fit your needs? And why would you choose a multi-split type system? We try to answer some frequently asked questions that you may have. Multi-split air conditioning systems are equipment that have several indoor units connected to a single outdoor unit. The indoor units can be used the same as the single split units. You can start as many as you want at once, one at a time or all at once. Why choose a multi-split system instead of a traditional single split type? Space. The obvious advantage is the space that the external unit will occupy. Instead of an external unit for each internal unit, we will have a single external unit. There are situations where there is actually no space for several outdoor units, and thus we could not have installed air conditioning in all the rooms where we needed it, and situations where we do not want to cover the facade of the house with outdoor units that would spoil its appearance. If the aesthetic part is subjective and depends on each of us, the part where we would not have space is an extremely important advantage. Power of outdoor units. In the case of single-split systems, the outdoor unit is correlated with the power of the indoor unit, but with multi-split, depending on the degree of use, we can choose an outdoor unit with a lower power. We will explain in detail later in the video. Equipment quality. An indirect advantage is provided by the fact that manufacturers offer units from the upper range for multi-split. So, regardless of whether you know the range of that manufacturer or not, you can be sure that you benefit from a superior range. Maintenance. This may not seem very important to you at the moment, but after you do it the first time, you will see that it is worth mentioning. Depending on the degree of use, you must ensure a minimum maintenance for the air conditioning equipment. Part of this maintenance refers to the cleaning of the outdoor unit, more precisely the outdoor unit heat exchanger, to ensure an optimal thermal transfer between the air circulated through the heat exchanger and the refrigerant. If we have several outdoor units, we have to walk from one to the other to wash their exchanger, compared to just one. What do you need to know before buying a multi-split type system? What are some disadvantages though? Hot and cold at the same time. If I have single split systems, I can start one on heating and one on cooling, being independent, but with multi-split it is not possible. All must be started either in cooling or heating mode. If I have one unit on cooling and one on heating, for example, I will get an error and the system will not start. The limitations given by the length of the refrigeration circuit. As with the single split systems, the equipment allows a maximum length of the refrigeration circuit. For example, I can have 15 meters of refrigeration circuit, but if I have a room on one side of the house and another on the other side of the house, constructively it is possible that I cannot fit within this limit. Single point of failure. This is as clear as can be. If we have a single external unit and several internal ones, if the external unit breaks, the whole system stops working. The price. You may have noticed that the price tends to be higher than the equivalent in individual systems. 2 of 2.5 kilowatts is not the same price as 2 indoor units on an outdoor unit of 5 kilowatts. I said before in the video that the power of the external unit can be chosen lower than the sum of the powers of the internal units. Here an economy is possible if the conditions allow us. There is a degree of simultaneity in the use of the indoor units. They can be used all at once or not. If in an office we have to use them all, the same is not true for a house. In a house, the rooms are used differently during the day than during the night. During the day we stay in the living room, dining room, and maybe a bedroom, but in the evening we stay only in the bedroom. Thus we can estimate that we do not need all the total power of the indoor units to choose the outdoor unit, and we choose a lower power. This in no way contradicts the manufacturer's specifications. It offers tables of possible combinations where we can see that there are powers that fully cover the power of the indoor units, or only a part. An example is that on a 7 kilowatts unit we can put 3 indoor units with a total power of 11.4 kilowatts. This translates into a reduced purchase cost for the outdoor unit, and maybe a smaller footprint. Remember that if all indoor units are turned on simultaneously, the power of the outdoor unit is still 7.1 kilowatts, and this power is distributed accordingly to the indoor units. More precisely, the 3.5 kilowatts unit will not supply 3.5 kilowatts, but less. A note, however, to be more precise, a 7.1 kilowatts external unit with an inverter compressor will be able to overclock the compressor so that it supplies 8.5 kilowatts. And this from the factory settings, without our input. The manufacturer provides this in the technical data. And last but not least, let's not forget that we can connect various units to the system, wall-mounted, ceiling cassettes, ceiling concealed units, etc., but check their compatibility first. So, there you have it. Now you know so much more about multi-split systems.